There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents from there. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris who make on you. I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, and more I go. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. So she work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
So folks, good morning. So folks, good morning. This is school online. We are here at Sympathy at the display camp, where an unidentified lady, mother of her daughter, she is yet to give us full details about what's unfolding here in Sympathy station. So, folks,
right now we are taking instructions.
Where's the father? Where's the father?
So nobody will go in there except the authorities agree.
Okay. So, can you just stop your quickly? The public want to know what unfolding. They're seeing you in tears. Can you just stop your? I'm Aaron from Cool FM. How you doing? Just tell us exactly what happened. I'm seeing you in tears.
The money, I'll go in the money. I just did for it. All this goes now. I go to a mark because as soon as money was there, she went to all the fee. I get her money. Because they not was still now. I don't know. Oh, that's why I am go. But when I come up with the law, it because now what you go to be. I let them and they started going to Ghana. So
For this morning.
yes, what could say that me? I left there. I'm going. Not even now. Go off for later speak. So much country divided.
So she killed the child?
Yeah.
So where is she?
How are you going now? They can't come with them so happy to the hall. I tell what happened. They didn't cool there. I come and get out of the say,
Is she your wife?
yes.
Your wife? Okay. For how long the both of you been together? For how long the both of you been together? 4 years. And your first child?
Yeah, I'm 1 week from home. No, yeah, between 4 hours.
Okay. And the one that both of you born? Okay. All right. So thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is
Emmanuel. Okay. So folks, the father of the child in question and an unnamed lady killed or child. Yes, so we are here. It's okay.
And this was little girl on the scene.
Are you doing okay? Feel free to talk to me, yeah? Feel free to talk to me, yeah? You were here when it happened? You go to the pump to buy beans. This kid, when you came back, what happened? When you met here? Her leg was cut off. Who cut off the leg? Oh man. Are the woman you live with? Okay. Okay. So for
Is it your mother or your auntie? Your stepmom.
So folks, she gave it all some sing what unfolded. Okay. So tell me, you living with this lady? You living here? You living with them? You living with your pa? Stepman. Okay. So when you came and saw the baby neck already cut off, how you start calling people? Eh? She finished going. You didn't see her? You didn't see her? You didn't see her. So when you came, only mean the baby neck or cut off. What the baby name? Eh? Auntie? Annie. How old is she? How old is she? How old is the baby? The baby how many years old? 1 year?
1 year, okay.
Okay. So your power not here. Was there Omega? Was there any confusion in the home this morning? No. You just go back this game when you came and saw the baby leg was cut off, right? So folks, we are here in Sympathy.
to say the pleasant good evening. We're trying to get ourselves set up. Let me see. Wow, it's not easy. Our God is there. Let me see our best to get the senior monk and the rest of the team connected to the platform this evening and right here on Truth FM 96.1. This is how we'd like to welcome you to the SKTV show. Yeah, Brazilian monk is not easy, but we're there. We're working hard. It's not easy. One of our brother, one of the hosts of the SKTV on last evening or last night or yesterday lost his mother. Uh, Impression of Steve Bullet. So but we're just trying to play some of these videos that you just watch. For those of you who follow us via the internet, you just watch some of the videos. I will play it, and that incident happened this morning somewhere around the FSHM clinic community, where allegedly that a 1 year 6 months old baby throat was slashed by her mother, by the mother of the baby, but the mother stay on the run, and I think the security are still investigating, and they are making sure that they're going to bring her to justice, so that at least. But again, good evening, folks. It's not easy. I'm trying to, yeah. So good evening to all of you. Sorry, Monk. The link is already there. Yeah, good. Monk is already. Monk, you pay your becoming just one of the how you call it? Yeah, man. Well, anyway, Monk. Good evening, and what's up? Happy Friday. I know it's not easy from our end here as a team, especially the SKTV family. But again, yeah, what's up, my brother?
What's up, everyone? What's up to the listening audience? Another day to be on SKTV. We are bereaved on SKTV. The entire family is bereaved. One of our panelists here, the big team, because we are just co-pilot here. Steve
Yeah,
Sekou started his show. He started his
yeah,
program. Steve lost his mother yesterday. I got that information late last night because the first person that posted, I think it was Love Hopkins, but she only posted an emoji crying. They get a crying emoji like,
mm-hmm.
and I never understood because it was mostly a cryptic message. But then our sister here, Eugenia, came with my inbox and said, "Oh, what she meant was Steve's mother passed, so reach out to Steve." But I didn't get the message all night until early this morning when I came. I think like five something. I just spoke to Steve not too long ago, and at least he's holding on strong. I gave him some word of encouragement and told him that the entire team and the entire family of SPTV we're keeping in our thoughts in prayer, and we'll see what's up from there. It's life. We'll all be here 1 minute and another minute we are all gone. It's something that we all experience. It's just a tough thing when it happens. But at the end of the day, we have to stay strong and navigate. It's a very, very tough thing in terms of transition, bereavement, the bereavement period, especially when we're talking about your mother. I mean, mom for boys children,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mom
These are people.
is not, it's almost like someone punching you in the belly. That's how it feels like. And for the next couple of days, I know it will be tough, so we'll be reaching out. I don't know if sick was coming on today, and I don't know
Yeah,
the protocol
the
for
team,
today
the
because today is
team,
Friday.
the team will be joining us, especially Sekou.
Okay.
Sekou will be joining us here on this platform this evening. Let me just make this announcement that Sekou will be joining us. And Monk, to just add up to you, myself, actually, as usual, like you, like Steve, like Sekou, sometimes most of it happening back home, share, and sometimes we even interact, share some on the phone, some on the joke, So I think that was almost like 24 hours, when I send message, still no reply. So I was like, well, what happened? So anyway, I said, anyway, maybe my brother, because of, his mom not too well. So maybe he's now, happy and so forth. So let me let him be. So I only just share it, but I will not concern more about whether I'm going to get a reply or not. So, but again, when I saw the post on our page, the SKTV page, so I was like, wow. So this is what been going on, and I was a bit confused. I said, wow. But again, that's life. I try reaching out, but again, by this time, or if, especially this moment, sometimes when you are in that situation, you don't easily answer phone, you don't easily talk to anybody, until after a certain time before. But again, my brother, that's it. Like you said, it's not easy, but it's God I give, or I give it, and it's God I take it. You know, these are things. Like you always say, we are all strangers, and we are all visitors, and we'll come. One of these days, our time will reach, and we'll be there and gone. So again, our sympathy to our brother, Steve Bully, aka Mose, one of our hosts of the SKTV show right here on Truth FM. Steve Bode, your tough talking Steve Bode, lost his mother right here in Liberia, and we ought to be in sympathy with him and so forth. But Mark, yes, like you said, my brother, today is Friday, and as usual, so we come to our people for their own support. But like today, you're going to be another double Friday where they will be also chipping in with their own support. Nothing much they're going to be talking about apart from our brother uh, bereavement and so forth with some of the social happening with the other mother who also take away her own or the life of her own daughter. And so maybe that's just a few things I want to be talking about today when Seko come on. But Monk is here. So Monk, let's move on. I think you just watch the video. I don't know whether you watch the video. If not, that's just the video I just played about this morning. The incident that happened this morning, right here in district number 4, is spread to be precise, so-called community or the F-Sham, where we understand that a lady this morning between 6, because according to our boyfriend, because sometimes they say my wife, but when you do some investigation, sometimes they are just into that normal relationship. So according to the guy this morning, he said that if I left the house around about 5:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock, and when he left, he went to work, and he only received call that something serious happened at the house, so he should come back and see what exactly what happened. But when he came back, only to find out that his daughter was slaughtered by her mother or by his wife, according to him, and that was just so confusing to him, and that was very very things that he was not even expecting. But again, Mark, I think there was a little girl also, one of his daughter, I think between the age of 7 to 8 years old, also that were in that video, also who narrated some of the happening, who said that in fact she was sent out there by the same mother, because mind you, according to her, she said the lady usually she don't call her mom because your aunt, according to her, she said the lady told her, because even though she's a stepmom to her, but the lady told her to call aunt or auntie, usually in Liberia. So she this morning the lady sent her this morning to go and buy some stuff. When she left, that when the incident happened. So Mark, that's the video that I was showing. So I just try to maybe give you some of the happening when it comes to that video.
Yeah, you said it right. I didn't follow up a lot of stories today because of that news from last night, and we say SKTV family is bereaved, and our usual Friday stuff. I don't know if Sick was coming on. He would detect that for our in terms of the tradition here, because it's a whole different Friday today. We got a bereavement and today is Friday, so maybe Sick will call the shot as to what he's trying to do on that. I'm not going to make an announcement or anything. Maybe behind the scene, maybe we'll reach out to the entire SKTV family later on another day. But when it comes to the contribution on Friday, as to how Sick will intend to do it, I don't know. So I will hold up that for now. But you said something very striking about death, and you know, whether we like it or not, it's just part of human evolution. That's the only way you will not die, except you were never born. But we will all be gone. The only difference is we don't know when and how. We cannot predict that. But the one thing we all know, I keep telling people, in spite of your religious belief, is the fact that there is life after death. That's something almost every religion believes in. We just don't know exactly. We cannot authenticate or validate that, but we only hang our faith on it. That at the end of the day, we all know that we are spirit and we're only transitioning in this war. So some people sending condolences, some people say we're sending you hugs, and we are sending you our heart out with you and the prayers throughout this bereavement period. I will say that again to our brother. And yeah, I saw that story today, Mabel, just to continue the discussion. I'll tell you exactly what happened in the country, Mabel. We say this thing on the radio every time we come here. People expect to hear from us. We try to get information. We don't like to jump to conclusion early. We need to get the facts right. And I told you the fundamental problem in Liberia, the economic problem. Economic anxiety is a bad thing. I learned that from the great United States that crime increases when there are economic hardship. And maybe I keep telling folks, we were not trained the same way. We came from different background, different home, different parental orientation, different environmental and societal programming. So the way how you handle things, you cannot expect me to handle things that way, right? You remember when I got stabbed his girlfriend, the first thing that I told you, I said there is no way his action is going to be justified. But you cannot assume that people will handle things that the way how you handle things. So the best way to avoid things is not to push people to their elastic limits. That's what I told you on the show, right? It's the same thing happening. Maybe let me tell you something. When Lobo started the draft, there were countless. You know, some people think we want to come here on this, or we just want to be known, or we want to show our faces on camera or on Facebook. There are lots of families, countless number of families we have reached out to in terms of help. People come to our inboxes or in our inboxes to send up messages. You know, we can play the politics all the time, but I keep saying that everything cannot be about politics. We cannot take the burden of a lot of people. We are not rich ourselves, but at least when we are in the position to help, we help. From the day I told you about that guy, Lobo and myself, we raised $1,200, and we did more than 5 other projects on that draft show at the time he just started that program. Oh man, can you imagine a father, biological father, using a patch strapper, the wiry patch strapper, to scrape his daughter's skin? Look, I saw that video from JFK. I was at work, maybe my entire day messed up. They were pulling the wire from the little girl's skin. That little child was crying. And you know the reason why? Because she took money from his pocket to buy lunch on campus.
Can
You
you
want me
imagine?
to believe that a biological father would do that? No. These are economic anxiety. People cannot handle the stress. People cannot handle the suffering. You are not sure no guarantee of anything. You are just getting by on a day-to-day basis. So when you get children, maybe it's one thing when you cannot make it when things are tough on you. But then there is a whole different ball game when you got women or women and children looking up to you as a man. Why you think men die early? The pressure. Every morning you wake up, you go to bed. You worry about how the children will eat. Just breakfast alone. It's now an easy life. So the little things you will do to people, it will trigger a response that you won't even expect. Can you imagine slicing somebody's throat?
Mhm.
Innocent baby like that. Why do you think someone want to do that, maybe? It's frustration. And where that frustration comes from? Economic anxiety, poverty, no food, no health care. You cannot even provide breakfast for your kid. You worry about where your next meal will come from. You are only living by on a day by day basis. Some day you don't even know how to start the day to even wake up from bed. It's a very tough thing. That's how people are going to react. Every little thing, everybody in the country is angry. How do you think that situation around? I'm not in the position to tell you that. I don't have the power to, but I know exactly what is happening in the country. And that's the reason people are responding in such a manner. And you can expect more to happen. People, look, Mabel, let me tell you something. Statistically, the thing they call suicide is not common among black people. Black people, I don't want to blow our trumpet, but we are very tough people when it comes to resilience and holding
Mm.
on. But you've been seeing people hanging themselves in Liberia lately, right?
Yeah,
Young men
quite recently,
with
almost 2 or 3
look at
cases.
Mabel. When you wake up from bed in the morning, just thank God for your life, no matter what. People are going through stuff. People are going through stuff. And that's why some of us will get our $100 or $200 when some people reach out, will say, you know what, man, we ain't get it ourselves, but the little piece of bread we get, we share with you because we know how it is. We know why it feels like. That's exactly what's happening in the country. I can say further, I can say more than that. But that's the
Yes,
reality, my
yes,
brother.
yes. So more. Actually, let me be frank, and I don't know how to even agree with you on that part. You know, one of our sisters also, in fact, she commented, I think, on one of our posts, and she said it's because almost the same thing I just explained. Like what she said, maybe all that thing is because of the situation in Liberia. And more, let me be frank, and let me say this to some of our people who are listening via the radio and other those of you that are watching us. There are no difference between the working class and the not working class. Monk, if even if you call that fellow today and ask him, the man who daughter died, and ask him as to how long he been working for and what's the working situation like, whether he have been taking pay in time or not, Monk, if that guy explains things to you, you will definitely give up. And Monk, nobody want to see themselves you working. Monk is just quite frustrating. You just feel it. In this country, Monk, there's no different. You working like you are not even working. That's just the kind of society that will live in, Monk. You are working. But it's like you're not even working because why? Your government that's supposed to be protecting you. That's supposed to make sure that, because that's the only way that the society will grow is by the workforce. When the government pretend like everything is okay, everybody okay, everything's okay, they do everything without politics. You working like you're not working. People will owe you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. Monk, for God's sake, how do you, as a person, expect yourself to even survive? Then the worst part of all of this is the school. The school will put the children outside either for Christmas. God. Look, Mom, this country will know how to kill each other. My brother, you just said it. This country will know how to kill each other. The school will put the children outside for either for the parent not going for even PTA meeting. They say 500. Even the sacks or those sacks that the children wear, they will tell you say or 300 or 250 or 400 for the sacks. If you don't have the sacks, your child will be outside. You're looking for food for the child. And in fact, you don't even have only one. You have money, maybe about 2 to 3 children that you have to take care of. You have to feed them per day, like you said. Now, the school is on your head, telling you that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to, in that kind of more struggling environment or in a struggling economy. My brother, so you just know it, but for me,
Maybe, but what are you talking about? We just did a little project. You talk about job. When people are not being paid living or living wages, right? How do you expect them to survive? They just want to get in that I'm doing something, but actually they're not making any progress. You're not paying people. You're not paying people decent salaries, or they're not getting better income to even sustain it throughout the month. And we just did a project on SKTV. 2 individuals, they all got jobs. They are teachers, right? You drove to Tori, you took upon yourself, went to Tori on the day of the Christmas. Were able to scramble free resources from here for you to take to them. And you heard their condition. Look, there is a common saying that said an idle man is a devil's workshop. When you don't have anything going for you, maybe you know what come to your mind? You attract negative thought, harmful idea, temptation, and negative influence because you're not doing anything. So some people say, you know what, okay, the job is not paying me, but at least just to create this idea that I got something going so I can sit home all day. Let me just go out there to go and find a job. That's just why it is. Because and you can blame the school too. The school got an operational cost. Some of these things, like I say, it's not political, it's got nothing, it's just systemic problem. Even though the schools can put pressure on the kids, but when you send your child to school, there is a price you pay for education. That's what education is all about. They got to pay the teachers. They got to buy some resources to make sure that the children they got a better learning condition. So the problem is people don't complain about this thing when you can afford it. Maybe you only get mad with this thing when you don't have income coming in. That's where the problem is. You think when you're making money and you're getting paid on time, you think you care what the school requests because you know there is a price to pay for education. The problem becomes when you can't even find food to eat and then you are worrying about school fee. So everything the school does make you mad because you already don't have it going for you. But I bet you not, maybe if I'm paying you decent wages, if your pay, even if it's a smaller amount, is coming on time regularly, you won't mind how much letter or how many PTA meeting or working on teacher because you know that once I decide to send my child to school, I should pay certain fees in exchange for that education. But when things become very, very tough, that's what the problem is. And that's exactly what you see happening. Like I said, the entire problem in Liberia, when you look at all the problems in Liberia and put it in one basket, it has nothing to do with political. It's economical. And that economic comes with jobs, it comes with investment, and the leadership with better and clear vision for that country that can change the dynamics of Liberia. Other than that, all these things will be happening every day. The next day you wake up fire. Another day you're dead body somewhere that nobody can give account for. Another day of man hanging himself. Or young girl will look at her baby in Grand Bazaar and they throw her innocent child in the St. John River. Why do you think someone want to do that? My brother, go ahead. Let me stop here for now.
And Monk, a lady reached out to me today. She said, maybe I left my job. I said, what kind of job? He said, you know, I'm a horse help. You know, the people can call the horse maid or so forth. So I said, but what happened? She said, maybe actually, the people were paying me $70, and they talk. They say, okay, same, you know, the economy and so forth. So they'll give me $50. Okay, no problem. But then she said again to me that after 1 or 2 months, the the family reached out to her and said, no, things are difficult. So we want to share your salaries into two. You know, so that means now, you know, what you're saying, she's saying they want to do like 50%, 50 should be getting 50% of her salary. About 50% go back to the family for other things or other stuff. So she said she had to resign. So about why you have to resign? She said, but maybe I cannot make $25 in this country. I said 25. They said, yeah, but maybe the people are saying that if I don't want to share my salary into two, that means $25. And I
Can you
don't be willing
imagine
to
that?
make. Can you imagine?
Mhm.
Or monk, you making $25 in Liberia for what 31 days?
Yeah.
No, no, we don't care. We don't
It's
care people.
sad.
But by the way, so good judge join us. So good, let me say good evening and welcome. Even though today is not our very happy day, but God is there and we are grateful also to be alive. So everything.
Thank you so much. Everything's good. Like you rightly said, we are not happy because of what happened. But that's God's will. We have no control over what God decided, to do. But this is something that came, kind of surprised all of us. We learned that she was not well, and we were actually doing everything possible in our power. But I mean, as God could have it, it is what it is. We have to just accept it. But we are actually asking everybody to support, to join or to support Steve at this time, whether it's a phone call, text messages, whether it's financial support, any support that you can get, you can give us at this point. We need it. You know, some of us we have lost uh, both parents. For me personally, so I know what it is to lose a parent. It's very hard to handle. But as a believer, you have to accept God's will. But I want to actually take this time to appreciate all of you, those of you who have reached out and those who are yet to reach out, those of you who, you know, been calling, testing. Like I said, we normally uh, ask for support on Friday, but today is even more needed. We have to support our brother regardless. Whatever we can do. I'm not actually supposed to be on the show today personally because I live here and I'm going to be with Steve in a little bit right after the show. And but we decided to come on the show to make sure that we inform our people. Not everybody can read, and we can reach to more people on the radio than we can ever reach on, on the Facebook or any other social media at this point. Because on the radio, if we are covering most of the countries in Liberia, 13 to 15 countries, I think we will reach hundreds of thousands of people, if not million. There will be aware that our brother and friend, Steve Bully, lost his mother. And that's our mother, all of us. So SKTV family is bereaved. And, let's show Steve as to how much we care about him. Every now and then, Steve, myself, Mom, Mabel, and other folks We come here every day to educate, inform our people, and all is gearing towards what? A betterment of our country, which includes good health care, good school, good running water, good electricity. You know, include everything. So let us pray for his mother, and let's also support Steve by making sure we call him to console him, give your support or whatever means, financial support. He didn't ask you to ask you for financial support, but we know it's needed. Anything you can do to support us, we'll take it. But I want to say thank you to those of you who have reached out so far. And those who are yet to do it, we encourage you to do so. I know a lot going on right now at the political front. I wasn't following the show because I was taking a quick shower after being very busy all morning. I know Mabel and Mon were on earlier. I know they have spoken about this. If not, I believe they are aware. I saw all of them commenting stuff on the post. But I want to say thank you to all of you for your prayers, and we are asking all of us to continue to support. So Mong and Mabel, I know you guys were on before me. I know you guys talk about this, correct?
Yeah, we talk about it. We just wanted for you to come and put the final say on it because you know today is Friday, but there is a different Friday based on what happened yesterday. So we talked about it, and we said maybe when Sekou show up, he will give the final say as to how we intend on doing it because we didn't want to confuse the audience. People can extend their condolences, the call to Steve. But when it comes to the financial aspect, I said no, we got to hear from you as to how you think we can go about doing it. Whether it will be today, whether it's another day. If people want to chime in with Steve financially, morally, and socially, and however anything they can do. But we just wanted to hear from you. But we made that announcement already prior to you coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, so those of you who have actually said something, we really, really appreciate all of you. Um, you know, Mong, I am not a stranger about our people. When something happen, they always show up, they always reach out, and they have always stood up with SKTV family in times of need. Whenever we need our people, they always, I saw when we posted the death announcement on SKTV, I saw a pool of, messages from people from all walks of life, everybody from everywhere, void of politics and everything. Sometimes we confuse politics with our personal lives. Sometimes we take politics so personal to the extent, even in terms of death or any other trial or tribulations, we always want to, play politics. But at some point, we have to divorce from politics and understand that we are human first before politics. So that humanitarian side, I've seen it, I've experienced it from our people. And, there's no shortage of, sympathy from our people. They sympathize, they empathize, they do everything, that you need to comfort you when they are needed. So I'm very much touched, by this. Because it's not just like somebody I heard from, but I talked to her, talked to her, and we had a very, very, very substantive conversation. I didn't even know she was actually glued to SKTV, that she used to be one of the main followers of SKTV. How much she appreciate what we do, you know. It's hard, man. It's tough. But again, Mabel, what say you?
It is indeed starting like a startup. Even though we started with the conversation about our sympathy to our brother, Steve Bode. Most of the time, people, whenever I go to places, people always reference Steve. Oh, what the other guy who can talk? The other guy who can talk. That sometimes there are some things you do. Sometimes people don't know until when you go to places, when you interact with people, you hear the kind of feedback you get. That's the time you know exactly that how you are making impact in the life of people. So when Steve hit me up about his mother illness, I was like, wow, I was a bit surprised because in fact he told me, tell me about a friend how to do everything. I said, no, my brother. Sometimes there are some hospital here too also that can handle some of the situation. I understand that we have a serious challenge when it comes to our medical or maybe our health situation here back home. But again, try your best and see. But yeah, when they kind of news for me, like I told you behind the scene not too long, I said, well, I was a bit shocked because Steve and myself usually like I share most of the happening to you, Steve, and that Mark, and to make sure that you people abreast to some of the happening before coming on the show because this thing happen back to back. So sometimes you will be sleeping, sometimes you'll be home, you're not finding money pictures, so I follow. But then when I send him message, he will not replying. So I said, it been almost 24 hours. I say, maybe my brother, something, I said, maybe my brother Hannah go so let me leave him. But not knew that was the kind of situation you were going through. I don't even know until when I saw the post coming from you, controlling the page and so forth. So I said, wow, I was shocked. So, but then I tried reaching out to you, so so I said, okay, but it is indeed our sign for us as people because, mind you, in everything we do, our family members, they are so important to us because after all of the hard work, after everything, we go back to them, we interact with them. They are the only people that get our back. All of the friends, everybody will get, sometimes they leave us, sometimes after using us, they get all of the benefit. At the end of the day, they betray us. But our family members, our relatives, they won't do that, even though they say the family tree can bend, but it won't break. So my sympathy to my brother, Steve Bode, and my brother take heart. I know it's not easy. Like I was telling Monk, I said it's not easy sometimes going through the kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we just have to be strong because the life, at the end of the day, we are all visitor and we all come here to spend time. One of these days, we all will be dead and gone. So all I can say to my brother is for him to be strong and because he's man now, he got to be able to communicate with the people. He got to be able to talk with the people because if you are downhearted and you're not able to talk with anybody, then it will be hard for you, how to handle the situation. So my call to him is for him to be strong, for him to be able to, to put on all of his jacket. And yeah, I know it's not easy, but you got to be strong. So that's all I can say for now as we go along with the entire situation. But we are bereaved, and to our people out there, please don't forget that we are bereaved also. So please, if you can reach out to Steve, you reach out. I think his name on Facebook is Mose Mose. You can also reach out to him via Facebook. If you're not able to get his contact, reach out to him via Facebook. Send him message. If he's active, he will respond to you. Please. Thank you so much, Sekou.
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. Thank you so much, Mom. Yeah, somebody's
So
asking what happened, who passed away. So it is Steve's mother, the mother of our colleague Steve Boley, aka Moses on Facebook. So just so you know. Yeah, go ahead, Monk. Sorry.
yeah, I think you guys said it all. People, I mean, it's a time of bereavement, so we're not into the politics. The thing about the politics is You cannot be too emotional in politics, like we always say. The thing here is we come here, we got different views, we got different opinion. We all are the crux of the problem, are the foundation of the problem. We all want the same thing for Liberia. We just have different idea as to how we'll go about accomplishing it. So when people come here, sometimes when they're hitting hard on the government and they're blasting and they sound like they are mad. Yeah, they are mad, but they are mad for the right thing, and that is the betterment of the country. So you don't want to mix personal feelings and emotion with politics because at the end of the day, we are all reaching out for the same thing, the same goal. But the one thing I know in depth, it's a time of a sober reflection. It gives you a different perspective about life. Whether and you, some of us we lost my dad, sister, grandmother, and all that. But every time it hit close to home, it just gives you more reason to think, to readjust yourself. Look, you know most ideas come to you when you're in solitude, when you and I with a group, when you are home sitting alone and you're reflecting, hey, thinking about the memory that you created growing up. These are the things that come to mind. But at the end of the day, you still end up being a better person because you see life from a whole different perspective. Some of them can be motivating. There are sometimes some people look, one of my guys in call what they call him Burma. I used to like that guy so much, like almost people thought we were brothers. We were almost like sleeping on the same bed. He was not my family member, but there are certain people you get so close to when you hear that they are dead. Look, like I said, like someone punching you in the gut, that how you can feel it. But at the end of the day, you will get through it. You will become a better person. You will do that reflection. You will go through that transition, and at the end of the day, your goal now is to do something now to make the dead person proud to be like, you know what? At least my son, he doing something better because, like I said, we are all spirit. We are only transitioning. So our people here, once again, reach out to Steve in any way, shape, or form and make sure you keep the lights on at SKTV. So that's how we end up on this note. Yep.
Yeah, so Monk, you're 100% right. And like Mabon also said, you know, we cannot go without politics because our life is also part of politics. In Liberia, the people who are in government, those that are in position, when they are sick, they have the means to be taken outside of the country at the expense of the state, at the expense of the common people. But when a common person got sick, it's your family burden, it's what you can do for yourself. We are not asking the government of Liberia to take everybody to, take everybody abroad for medical attention, but at least be able to provide a fitting medical centers in Liberia. You have the money. Every day you're taking the money, putting it in your pocket. So without going too deep in politics, but some things are about to happen more and maybe based on information that I have. SKTV has a lot of information as to what is about to happen. So we listen to the press conference of the police director and that of the director for the National Fire Service. And based on our sources, they're about to arrest a lot of people. And for me, I am not against any act of law enforcement. I have some experience of doing that, and I think it's the right thing to do. But you have to do it the right way. It has to be based on facts. It has to be based on evidence beyond reasonable doubt. I'm in 100% support of any enforcement of law and order. I want justice to be served at all times, but I do not condone, I do not subscribe to a selective justice. I do not condone or support any politically driven form of justice. I do not support any kind of justice that is politically driven, that has political undertone, that is targeted. I don't like that. And I believe many of us will frown on those things. So when I listen to the police director regarding their competent ongoing investigation, and I listen to the fire service director, the fire service person said little, very little. With police director that talk more, that says a lot. And I believe when the police director said, we have sufficient evidence, as a person with some law enforcement experience, I think that speaks volume. But then he fell short to say that we have suspects. You have sufficient evidence, but you don't have suspects? I think you can have persons of interest in search of evidence and suspects. But by the time you have accumulated sufficient evidence, you must have a suspect. Secondly, those who are considered as persons of interest cannot be subjected to arrest. Persons of interest can be invited. They can come at their own volition. If they decide to say they don't want to talk, they can come with their lawyer. But a suspect, it can be subjected to an arrest, to be arrested if somebody is a suspect. Because first, you don't want the person to destroy evidence. You don't want the person to escape. The police or any law enforcement reserve the right to call people for questioning. Whenever there's something they call in law enforcement, they call it prima facie, or some call it probable cause. If there's a reason that make you to believe that this person had some material, some information that are materially important to an investigation, yes, you can invite them. But to arrest people as persons of interest, and you say you have enough evidence to prove as to what happened, first of all, the police director said, based on their investigation, they can certainly deduce that the disaster at the building The Capitol building, it was a man-made. It was not a natural disaster. It was not something that emanated from electrical shock. They said they have established the fact that it was done by somebody. Now the question becomes, what are some of the methodology? What are some of the method? What are some of the equipment? What are some of the investigative method that they use to come up with those information? Were there CCTV that capture individuals that are now persons of interest? Were there forensic investigation that somehow indicate fingerprints or other evidences that are linked to those individuals? All this is just politically driven, targeted, selective justice being applied to target certain people. Those are the questions that really need some answers. I am not denying or agreeing that the police information is right or wrong, but when you say you have sufficient evidence, you must have a suspect. An ongoing investigation, by the time you receive sufficient evidence, it means that you already have a suspect. You're ready to charge. You're ready to declare them wanted because you have sufficient evidence. But anyway, I had a lot to talk about, but just like today, it's not a good day for me because we lost our mother. Steve lost his mother.
Yeah. So quickly before we go for maybe the news bulletin, the attention at the Maneuver Central Prison, the attention started I think somewhat around this afternoon, and there are a lot of attention have been given to the Maneuver Central Prison that the prisoners they are agitating on so many things to talk about. So they are at serious tension there at the Maneuver Central Prison. So you can hold on a little bit. Let me go for the news break and we'll come back. We will join you and other monk.
So are you going to carry the news break live, or you're going to you want us to continue? What do you want to do?
Yeah, so we'll join you, or you will join the team by 7:15 after the news bulletin. Because
so you're not going to carry the news bulletin on SKTV?
And not that, but maybe the time I will go to Studio B before.
No, it's up to you. It's up to you. We can continue if you want to do that. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be expecting you in about 15 minutes.
Indeed.
So Monk, while we
Get the best
wait, Mayborn and other guys for the news bulletin, what say you about what is going on with this whole fire situation, wherein the police director is saying they have sufficient evidence. They have sufficient evidence, but they don't have suspect.
Yesterday, somebody listeners they make comment on the show because at the same time I'm not a security guy. I don't know about law enforcement methodology. I don't know their process and their procedure. But the one thing that I know, when you have sufficient evidence, then you must bring people forward. Then I mean you already have your suspect in mind. Because as the suspect start with the evidence, right? Just common sense. But if you are saying that you got evidences and you are still holding on to the suspect, then they kind of confuse the public because people be like, okay, we can have one of the two. And you don't want to make this thing to look like it's a political wish hunt because if I'm not mistaken, a couple of days ago, I think it was yesterday or Alvin we said, who people know to be a very strong sedition. He said police surrounded his house and a Ibwaka, I think he said Ibwaka tried anything crazy or something. He made something in a statement. So I was like, wow, I just hope it ain't go this route. But then the police investigation itself is creating those kind of a condition for people to speculate. That's the thing about government. You don't want for people to speculate. You want to be clear. You want to be emphatic when you are doing your thing. Because when you create room for speculation, that's when it starts becoming the problem. And we even said frown on the president's statement when he talked about this place is not the place for gangsterism. We said no, that could somehow influence the investigation. Even though you are the president, sometimes you have to hold on a little bit. I know there are instances where you can be given some insider information before the public get to know, but you got to know how to manage those information. And you just said it right. You cannot create room for speculation. You want to be free, fair, and transparent in the process because we all know what is happening in the house. Everybody feeling taking that side. Some people, the very first reaction was for the Antifa group did it. We don't know exactly, but that was the conclusion based on the political atmosphere. And you want to, as a police IG in the fire service department, you really want to take politics out of this thing and do your job so people can get a clear sense as to what's going on. So I think you said it right. You can
So,
speak about that
so,
more. Yeah.
so Mon, just so you know, we were told that the investigators requested that those that were initially arrested, that were free, they asked all of them to report back or risk of being arrested. So if the police arrested a certain group of people initially and they were let go to call them back for questioning, supposedly questioning, that doesn't make sense. I thought that's what you did first. You arrested them first for questioning, and I believe you saw nothing. That's why you let them go. But if you have sufficient evidence now that could potentially link or to those individuals, then definitely you are considering them as suspects. That's why you're asking them to come back. If not, you're going to be you will be arrested. But then, if you listen to the press conference, at the end of the press conference, the conclusion made by the police director, he said, so far, those who they consider as persons of interest, they were all collaborating. They were all working with them. That there were no hostile activity so far. They were all working with them. But at the same time, somebody complaining that the police, that their house, their premises were under attack. I don't know how you collaborate those statements. People are collaborating, they are working with you. And then why? In fact, we were informed that those guys being invited, they are not the primary target. That they are law enforcement, that they are lawmakers that are being targeted. So you don't want to leave these kinds of notion in the minds of the people. You don't want to do that. If you have a suspect, complain. In fact, the police director said they have sufficient evidence. When those evidence are presented to the national security team, And when they declassify, he said, then they will make those information public. Declassify.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he said. So I don't know what is in that investigation that require declassification. This is if this is a potential criminal act, that has nothing to do with something being declassified. Nothing, absolutely. This is not like counterintelligence
Investigation, right? The
material.
declassified.
Yeah, counterintelligence material that they involve foreign nationals or foreign actors. That will require some, method and different, collaboration with other international partners, because you don't want to somehow burn your sources. But something that has to do with your local investigation, if this is not targeted, if this is purely evidence based and factual, based in investigation, you have nothing to be considered classified information. No, there's nothing about that. Liberians are eager. Liberians are waiting to see the perpetrated criminals that burned down that historic building. There's nothing classified about that. But again, are you going to arrest Fanatic Kufa? Or you want to arrest other members of the bloc, the Fanatic Kufa, that's what the Fanatic Kufa? Are you trying to silence them? Or are you trying to, torture some of the young people to force them to make certain statements that will incriminate other people? There's no secret about this. If you have a suspect, if you have evidence that you say, sufficient evidence, declare people a suspect, arrest and charge, and send them to court. Plain and simple. This should not be something that we saw with George Weah government. We saw them playing with a lot of arms and ammunition with their bare hands. We saw them when they said there were several barrels in a container belonging to somebody. That investigation, we're still waiting. We're still waiting to see how that investigation ended. And since President Bouakai took over up to where we sit, all investigations and everything that they have initiated, we have not seen any report. Everything just ended just like that. Is this one of those investigations? Or do we really, really have some facts here? Or fact-based investigation that could lead to the arrest of some key players of the legislature? We are told that I'm not sure how credible this information is, but we are told that the intent is to arrest some key players within the legislature, they include Fonati Kofa.
Kofa, yeah, I saw that. I think Front Page Africa carried a story like that earlier today too.
Yeah. So, in fact, we are told that some of the initial arrests that were made, what NSA has to do with fire problem?
Fire outbreak, right? Let me. I should be asking you. You're the security guy.
Yeah, so I'm asking this question. I'm not asking you. I'm just asking, just to make a statement. NSA is like almost like CIA here in America. NSA work so many security agencies investigating, following things that threaten the national security of the country. NSA work with other international partners like the CIA, like the KGB, like other major security agencies around the world on counterintelligence. But a fire outbreak, there should be an investigation launched into the police. The NSA is supposed to be investigating the police, the Liberia National Police.
We're back, Sekou, we're back after the news bulletin.
Thank you, Mebo. Thank you. So, in my mind, the NSA, the NBR, I don't know whether NBR still exists, but when I was there, NBR was there. We had something they call Joint Security Team, that comprised of 3 major security agencies: the NSA, the NBR, and the DIS, the Defense Intelligence Service, under the National Defense.
Yes.
So, and I don't know if I'm giving too much information, but those people, they were clothed with authority to investigate all of the people that can wear uniform. You can investigate them and for possible prosecution. They can investigate issues from outside, and they can also investigate security agencies. The police themselves should be subjected to investigation. Because why? Who was in charge when the incident occurred? Which agency was in charge? Was there a security breach? Was there a security breach when it happened? Was there compromise?
The most fastest way.
Was there a compromise? But yeah, NSA arresting common citizen for the fire thing. I don't know, but I think Liberian people deserve to know as to what the IG meant when he said we have sufficient evidence. Sufficient evidence means you have everything that you need to know. You have somebody who is a suspect, and you're ready to charge and call on the suspect to report themselves or risk being arrested. There's nothing secret that he talked about being declassified at some point. It shouldn't be nothing like that. But again, this thing could look very small. You could think you are playing with certain people, you are playing politics, but the ripple effect could be severe. In people's life. In the process, somebody could be thrown to jail for a very long time, even for a lifetime. In the process, somebody could get killed. In the process, somebody's life could be destroyed forever. So it is very important that the Liberian government take this thing very seriously. This should be factual-based investigation. It should be transparent. There's nothing secret about this. Nothing. If people were involved in criminal art, and you have evidence to prove it, arrest them, charge them, send them to court. So, not to take all of the time on that, maybe I'll let to hear from you guys what you think about that whole process. By the end of the day, we are here once again to sympathize with Steve and his family. We are asking all of our friends, followers, and well-wishers to reach out to Steve, sympathize with him. And whatever way you can reach out to Sktv, we'll also appreciate it, including financial support in time of need. So back to you, Monk, and then we can hear from Mabel.
Yesterday, Mabel and myself will cover the fire incident. I think you just brought the security aspect of it. For me, I'm not a security expert. But there are certain things that we highlighted yesterday because listening to the police IG from that little press conference, there was certain talking point he laid out that there was no electrical fault that triggered the fire. We talked about this extensively on the show yesterday. They did an extensive investigation. That's why you say examination, cross-examination of the electrical circuit system in a building. And the grill was still supplying electricity at the time of the fire. Then another important point he laid out was the fire started from multiple locations that had nothing to do with the grill itself. So his conclusion was it was an intentional arson. And they had some flammable substance, which is gas or gasoline or whatsoever that was on the side. Okay, yeah, you made that. But the problem is the way how you handle this thing is how people is going to perceive. Like you said, you're talking about whether their sources and their method, the kind of investigation. You cannot keep giving the public a reason to speculate because they will want to believe that it's political. And don't mind, CDC people are already politicizing this thing. Like the statement from Akara's great, that the country is returning to the dark days, that people believe that the international partner watching the country could spill out of control. And he said that Bwaga won an election narrowly. My thing here is because for him, he believed the country is between blue and green. Liberia is an El Clasico, Real Madrid and Barcelona, CDF for the United Party. Every little thing that happened in that country will be politicized between these two parties. But here is my thing. Mr. Police IG and to the people on both sides of the aisle that want to play the political football. We got two schools of thought here. We cannot allow this country to go into a tailspin because you see, it seems like our public officials and people in politics, they have weaponized the peace process of Liberia, that they believe that they can abuse the country. And when you want to implement the law, they say, no, you're threatening the peace. That's how they look at it. So you want to tell me, because when you listen to Akara's great statement, almost like saying that you should involve into some criminal activity and you should walk away scot-free because we want to maintain the peace in Liberia. Everything is about the peace. That's just why it is. So the government cannot conduct investigation, they cannot prosecute people. I am saying it on both sides. And Unity Party people too, when you start targeting people, including the speaker, people will see it as something that has some political undertone to it as well. I'm not saying if he's involved, he should watch scot-free. I am just saying, and you said it right, that the investigation should be impartial and don't do this thing, don't romanticize the investigation to make it to look political. Because then that way, even if you are right in your investigation, people will say perceive it to be some kind of a political wish hunt that you are going after the opposition party. So it go both ways. I think you cover the basis on this issue because it seems like every time people will do things deliberately with the expectation that just because Liberian pull one piece, we can get away with it. That's how you're looking at. When you call for a protest, oh, you want to disrupt the peace. So are you telling me you should steal from the central bank? You should come up with mob exercise. You should steal from people. When people want to retaliate, no, we got to protect the peace. That's exactly what you see happening here. So I'm admonishing the Bwaka administration, including the police IG. Do your best you can as a professional person. Come up with an impartial investigation, and then people will support the outcome. But if you try to do this, like you said, there is not a counter terrorism investigation. There's just a fire outbreak. You don't want to make this thing to look political at the end of the day, and I think that's what they should do. That would be my final say on this fire issue because he already established the fact that they did an extensive investigation. They have evidence. But the way how you are handling it, my brother, then you are sending mixed messages to the public, and you don't want to do that. Yep.
Yeah. So, Melbourne, what say you before we go to the line?
Yes, indeed. Sekou, I think you and that among people have said, I think our government or our security apparatus, they have to be careful on how they go about with the information. Like you said, let me be frank. I think those police officers that were assigned at the Capitol building that night, I think they should have been arrested by now. Look, let's be frank and let the politics out of these things, right? You can't bring that, for example, you say Melbourne should be maybe assigned here for the night as a security officer here at the compound or Truth FM. I'm here at night. And something happened. And you are saying that you want to exclude me from every other thing that will happen negative or maybe that may happen maybe during the night. No, then I think then people also speculate that, oh, maybe the police, because all the citizens want first. You see, Mr. Kanye and that Monk, the only way that the citizen will believe that the security, they are not banned or maybe police or they are not into politics based is when they do the right thing by arresting those security officers that were on shift. That's the only way that the citizen will believe that yes, at least you are serious. Because when in this world, you will say so those people that went there at night, they play matching or they fly overnight or what happened. So like you just said, those police officers should have been arrested, and by now we're supposed to know how many police officers.
I will not say arrested because the way you're speaking, because you're not a security person. Because you can say the investigation should have started with those people. Not being arrested.
No, okay. Well,
yeah. They should have investigated, as to who were on shift. What is the agency, whether the police or the, whatever agency that were in control of the place. The investigation should have started with those people first.
Simple.
Yeah. But maybe they did. But what happened? That's why we need the process to be transparent. So let it come on and tell us, like the way and method and equipments that were used to determine whether or not this fire outbreak was man-made or it was a natural disaster.
Based
on the proof that they have, maybe one will know as to how they investigated. We can't say we have sufficient evidence that you fail to provide evidence to the people. Tell people what did you do? What did you do?
Even after that, but
for
example, they say, okay, we have few people who, for example, people of interest that we're going to arrest. But you talk about arson attack, and you're talking about the people we still having people that will arrest. So what happened if Melbourne was one of these people that you're talking about? Do you think that Melbourne will still be behind the microphone or Mr. Kane? I want to run away, or maybe I will find a way for me to even escape so that I can be arrested. But again, we are also getting, the most just said, we are also getting a lot of reports, information, even from Page Africa, also carrying the news that there are a lot of political figures, especially coming from the minority bloc, that name have been listed. In fact, that will be arrested, or that will be arrested, according to what From Page Africa posting here, that I'm
Yeah.
following here, that
And
they may,
Farakawa's great too. And he's a former
yeah.
lawmaker. He calling for a preemptive response and a strike. Can you imagine, just because of fire, he calling for a nationwide protest against this government because the government is acting like a operating like a terrorist organization. That's
So
why he
so
insinuated
so
literally.
yeah. So my call, I think, to I call it police RG, or Monk, to you and other Mr. Kane. I think during the time of the press conference, let's be frank and let's just say true to power, that the police RG don't do well, because let me tell you, you cannot be giving a fire update. You are police officer. You are skilled officer. Wait for the fire experts to come up and speak. After that, then you can come up as a security and say, okay, based
Remember,
on what yeah.
remember,
So yeah, Mr. Kane.
I don't know whether you follow it. I always say,
I call the
mention
press conference.
the fire director were there, the fire expert were there, but he
But he was
spoke.
not talking.
Listen, now he
Mr.
spoke for
Kane, he
less
was
than.
not talking.
Listen, now he spoke for less than 2 minutes, and then the police director took over the whole thing.
That's my point.
Yeah. So the thing is, if sometimes they can work together, but then if you're going to do that, if the police director going to be the person to speak for both departments, you should be transparent and provide enough evidence and come with something that will make sense. You can't say you have sufficient evidence, but you cannot tell you have a suspect. And also, people can consider somebody as persons of interest and subjected to being arrested. Give them time. Persons of interest are people that you can get information from. You think they get some information that will lead you to a suspect. They get some information that will lead you to providing some proof or evidence that you need in order to create a case or to establish an investigation. But if you say you already have sufficient evidence, that means you have done your investigation. You do not need persons of interest. All you need is a suspect. All you need just to get the suspects, and then charge them, take them to court. That's all you need. But I think they need to do a better job. So with Akala Grace statement, Liberia is a politically charged, country. I do not expect anything less. And people like to create scene. People like to create sympathy for themselves, for their institutions, for their party. People always do that. Liberia, even government in power, can always try to seek people's, sympathy from the, from the public. Well, Akala Grace need to be careful. I think he's looking for some reason, I believe Akala Grace is looking for attention. He wants to be arrested. He wants to make hero of himself. He wants to be, on the spotlight. He wants to be arrested. He wants, they say, yeah, the black government arrested Akala Grace. Oh, the black government do they want to Akala Grace. He wants to make hero. He wants to make hero of himself. I'm just being honest. Akala Grace, he want to make hero of himself. Like just as, for example, the Liberia government, when Costa said the last time that your government made him.
Mm-hmm.
Akala Grace looking for somebody to make him. He was that person on the Ellen, wherein Akala Grace is arrested, Molba Molu is arrested, Jefferson Koji is arrested. They are the hero. They are the hero of the CDC. They are the hero of the opposition. That's the kind of thing he's looking for. He wants, but a LeBron government as stupid and arrest Akala Grace or do anything funny to Akala Grace, just making hero out of him. He's not that important unless where he poses threat to national security. Yeah, you cannot condone that. Boy, if the man just talking, talk that free. The man can talk
I
anything.
know, right? Let he talk because the statement coming from him, I found it shocking
Yeah,
when he
it's
said
nothing.
Bwaka
It's
Bwaka
nothing.
is not a populist president. He's not a populist leader, and he got questionable legitimacy. So in order to say that Bwaka is not a legitimate president, so he's just finding something to put out there to
So they
to
can go
throw into
after
the
him. He
base.
can be hero.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you that's the reason. That's how they do.
I know.
Yeah, that's what they do, and that's how they can grow Wayne, and that's how they will gain support. That's how people will be fighting for him. He will be the hero. He will be in front of everybody. Then when he release, you go in front of camera, and then anytime he says something, people, it's all about looking for fame.
Mm-hmm. For
It's
sure.
all about looking for fame. In short, let me tell you something, Mabel and Monk. If you were in a society, in a community, the powerless person, the younger person, is not afraid to fight the giant because they're not afraid of being beaten. But if the people hear that this person challenge this giant, or the person fought against this person, even if win or lose, it's a plus for them. So there are people in the society that always want to fight the government. Don't want to seem that they are the one, they are the hero. You always want to attack them when it's short. They want to give you reason to go after them so they can make hero of themselves. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this government. You should not do anything that will create some serious political upheaval in the country. If they want to investigate, let them be transparent about it. If they have proof, they have any evidence, let they declare people who they believe are suspect. Let they declare them suspect. You can arrest them, you can charge them, send them to court. But you cannot say you have sufficient evidence, but you do not have suspects. That's conflicting. Let's listen to our people back home.
Well, 077-285-961. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the Sktv show. Right here on 2FM 96.1. Let me go to the line and pick our first caller. Yeah, my dear, good evening.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to Mr. Cannon. People take out my brother. My sympathy to you. I know how it takes to lose a mother that you won't fair on and brought you into the world. Whatever achievement that you have, it was through your mother that God granted you all of those achievements. So I said, take heart, my brother. Be strong. Maybe on this David King, and I do join you on my residence. Mr. Cannon says something that I see a lot of sense in it. And you too, Nevon, you said something too. I think this fire incident, we don't need to play politics with it. Okay? Like you said, Nevon, those police officers, those security, they got two private security firms that provide security for the legislature. Those guys are on TV at night. They need to call them in for investigation. They need to call in for investigation. Remember now, there was a protest before the fire. And the protesters denied they reached at the Capitol. The lawmaker car was being searched before they drove into the Capitol building. So police were in control, and President told us that he's in control of the Capitol building. That night, what we heard, some people that were sitting on the ground of the Capitol, 10 o'clock in the night, he took away the two chairs that were in the John chamber and that of the gavel. Today, those two chairs, they are sitting at the Morel City Hall where they usually have a meeting. So, for what purpose are you took those two chairs from the John chamber before the fire operates? I have a question.
All right, thank you so much. To this caller, good evening, please. 1 minute per call, please. We are appealing to all of you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
There are a lot of callers on the RG. Today you told us that you have see of this mother, you know, they inviting people to carry things. Where are we heading to? So it just tells me my mind that the RG notion of what you must run it. They just tell me, say, you guys get all of the evidence, and then you have to arresting those people. She can get the good in the country. What do we blame? So we are begging the police out to be very serious. And we are struggling another round. We are asking them to be serious and not make our people live in fear. We are finished the only country we have.
Thank you so much. Liberia is the only country we have. We are appealing to the RG. So let's call a good evening.
Good evening, good evening to your fellow panelists.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the voice of Peter Sign and joining from Sktv-Lib District 4. You see, maybe to the issue of investigation, we don't expect as Liberia to get anything from the investigation because the president from day one had undermined the investigation by not allowing the investigation and then making a lot of statements. What do you expect? IQ will come to back the statement of the president. The president cannot lie. The president always say the truth. But as of people making people out of hero, I hear somebody saying, I was speaking there, I received threats from this government. I don't even have an account. Before you talk about account, look, the secret office, the man who can sue that office, he's a low profile man. He was picked up yesterday. So this government is treading in a kind of dangerous path that people who have talent like you should use your God-given talent.
Well, you go off the line. Keep a calls coming. 077-285-971. That's the number to call this evening to be on the Sktv Live right here on Truth FM 96.1. Please let's stick to time. 1 minute. So this call a good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead.
I think my deepest sympathy to see, it's a very difficult situation to handle. The mother-in-law, looking at mother-in-law, and we just pray along with him, and the soul of his mother right in the perpetual peace. So we say, peace, now have the comfort, give bless to the Almighty God, and I shall be blessed. So, Labor, Gogol Kuma is the most comedian that ever existed in the history of Liberia. And this guy, I don't know why people can call him professional. The man said he has evidence. Why he cannot disclose the evidence to the family? We live in an educated and intellectual society. This is not a generation that Gogol Kuma, you can't play forward. You just see that you can't grab anybody anywhere. He can't read it. And appeals to achieve your political goals. We're not going to work that for in a manner of the command. We are fully aware that you are implicated in the branding of the capability. You and your police, along with the guard on the majority block. This man said it, James Collette. The man said he cried because he never expected the fire to be heavy, to intensify. But they are the one that when the executive the captain they want to implicate all of people.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Isa Kamara. I join you from Sktv Community District 4.
Go ahead, Isa.
Yeah, let me my condolence to Steve and the Sktv family. The police director has become an embarrassment to the country. The police director, the solicitor general, and also the justice minister. The same police director here, when took somebody from the moral center precinct, the court called them to kill the person living body up to today. They cannot provide a person living body. The same police director, the 3 people that were arrested, they told the police director, the court said yesterday, I know yesterday or the 8th, I know yesterday they were the issue. Bring the people. He refused to bring them. The same police director put Johnson and face people, they on camera here. They now go to arrest them. The same police director, people in Lofa County, people went and murdered somebody to death, they on camera. They arrest the people, put them in jail, they finish free them. The police director doesn't have moral. They measure want to damage the country for the fire incident issue. The police director already compromised. We don't trust the police director. We don't trust the government. They are already compromised. So the only thing we need, the same way they demanded international or we demanded, we the report demanded international investigation team during the $16 billion. We want people to bring international investigation team. We don't trust the people here.
All right, we don't trust the people here. Today's caller, good evening.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're not hold you on the line. Today's caller, good evening. Please, when you call in, just move away from the monitor so that you don't give us feedback. Today's caller, good evening.
This is Tony K. Molwa speaking from Kakata.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, for the only thing I got to tell the public, let's all give this government chance. When the government already come up, they say they have gone, but they already know those are when I play. So let's all give the government chance. This government will come up, and we all will know that what went on is wrong. So nobody talking about the government like this, the government. No, let us give the government chance. Government already come up and inform us that those are destroy that place, but they already know those are destroy that place. So let us give the government chance.
All right. Let us give the government chance. Let the government do their work. Keep your calls coming. 0777 285 961. Today's caller, good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Okay, thank you for joining us. Go ahead, my dear.
I listened to the conversation yesterday, and I understand that if Liberia was a serious mind, calling people like Greg on the politicians at this time, looking at a critical issue, when you got it over there, the country is seriously divided, and Greg is coming on with customer suppression in the Liberia security. We started down here 6 years ago and watched the police on the suit. It was not in this kind of manner. Police are there not violent, but the police are all on like the police for all military state. You can now look at the situations where in the Capitol building, Greg, how he guys were assigned at the Capitol building over and over until more than 2 weeks the police were assigned over there. And one morning you day after the Wet Tuesday, Wednesday, we saw the Capitol building on fire. And on this day, where was the majority block and where are the seat of the speaker? Those guys on the majority block took the seat of the speaker into their Memorial City Hall compound. So Greg is not interested in calling these guys to ask them for which reason they took this seat. Why were they thinking of for which they took the seat on the Capitol building, the John Chamber?
All right.
The police should have been calling the guys now, the like of Samuel Koga, and the police to start giving account. What is so for which they took the seat? The speaker seat from the John Chamber.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Let me see quickly. Let's get to one of our brothers also who want to be part of the. Yeah, my dear, good evening. Yeah, hello, good evening. You live on the Sktv show, my dear. Go ahead.
Thank you, Melbourne. This is Abu, calling from the USA.
Wonderful.
Melbourne, thank you very much, and I want to say sorry to our brother Steve. For his mom. I have my mom, and I lost my dad. I know, and I can relate to that, even though I still have my mom. It's a difficult moment to be going through.
Yeah, sorry, my sympathy.
Let's talk about what happened at the Capitol building. Remember, if you guys listen to the tip, I'm not a security person, so I'm not going to add that one. And but school, put it out very, very beautiful. I really love the way he analyzed it. The fire service person said, based on his observation, meaning it wasn't based on thorough investigation. For me, that's my low-man thinking. And it wasn't based on thorough investigation. It wasn't based on any scientific method. He just went on Zed, cable, this and that, what he saw. And based on that, he concluded that it was an accident or whatever it is. And if you notice, that's why Gregor Coleman did not give him ample time to elaborate on their result, because definitely. And doing that, Gregor Como also make a lot of mistakes, and Brother Siku stated that. I just want the perpetrator to come, to face justice. But the way the government is going about this, if they're not mindful, there will be a lot of chaos. In fact, trust me, even if they're right, like Monk said, even if they're right, if they don't take that time, people will come up, and we already see the people coming out and saying all kind of stuff. I mean, the fire at the Capitol building, somebody must be held accountable. And again, one more statement before I go.
Yeah.
The other representative they call what they got from
what?
County. They want to make him the rule and order, whatever it is, committee. What they got?
Yeah, formula.
Yeah, put it right. I did
Yeah.
not put it, but somebody. He was crying on live camera. He said he did not think that the fire was going to be that much. So what idea he was coming from saying that on live TV? Look, Gregor Como needs to take a time and go through the investigation very, very carefully. If not, there will be a problem, and even if the government is right, there will still be a problem.
Thank you
very much,
thank you so much. Keep a calls coming right here in Liberia. 077-285-961. That's the number to call. We have about 12 more minutes to go, but keep a calls coming to a few more calls. We'll cross over to our team. Hello, good evening.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear. Your name and from where you join us.
All right, so this is the father, Sherry Famian, Destined Sherry. I join you from District 17, the concerned citizen.
Okay.
My attention has been drawn to the discussion. All right, you see, maybe sometimes I told you last time, sometimes we can be listening and we don't want to call, but I think we can be pushed to call because what is happening in the country here, we have to keep talking because why it turn good, it turn bad.
Yeah, simple them saying that. You know how to sit back and allow things to go.
Exactly. But you know, what is going on for the whole fire issue from an observation, for the concerned citizen observation, we are observed that the whole issue was premeditated. And when you observe the whole sonar, the people are trying to find excuse. And that's the wrong thing they are doing. Seriously, maybe you can hold me for my word.
Find excuse to do what? And so that the sonar can hold or what?
No, the people they are sitting to find fault so that they can arrest the people they put in somewhere that they will have the free ride for the sonar. Are we understand what they are trying to push here?
Go ahead.
They are trying to find way. You cannot say you have evidence that you don't have anybody arrested. Where possible, where those things happen in the world. Anywhere in the world is happy, you have evidence that you have not arrested anyone. You have not arrested anyone to say anything, but you wouldn't say it. You cannot prove it. Why in the world those things are happening? This thing was just premeditated, maybe they are doing those things to just find fault on the minority black so that they can have a free ride for the sonar. And we have it will not be the real way. Joseph Boga want to have a free ride, my brother.
All right. Thank you so much. To this caller, good evening. To this one. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my dear, good evening.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say my sympathy to Mom.
No, Steve.
The entire Sktv family.
Steve.
Steve, I mean, I beg you, I want to reserve my name.
That's fine.
Because you see, it's very good that we look at the security. Security is paramount to our country. The peace and security we obtain in this country for the past years should be maintained by this government. You hear me?
Yeah, we got to go ahead, my brother.
Yes, and then there is a security firm as far as the Capitol building. Number two, the national security, they have a joint security that operates in the night. In the case of the fire incident, the first people to be contacted, as Sekou said, is the joint security that was assigned because there was a protest right after the fire. So the joint security that was assigned that night. Then number two, look at the National Police Headquarters is attached to the Capitol building. Well, from right inside to the other side. 24-hour securities are moving up and down. So it's better for them to investigate, do an in-house investigation before they start arresting randomly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let me see what I can get to. My wife, she been calling me back to back. You know, sometimes it's not easy for the female to get through. Good evening, my wife. Yo, now what can happen, my mother life?
No one can take the place of mother, my son Steve. Oh, let God take care of you. Oh, let God give you grace, oh, my baby. Let God give you grace, oh. Nobody can take the place of a mother. Let God be with all your family. Therefore, in La anytime you want to go there, therefore, my son, you must tell me, oh.
Yeah, I will let you know. Yeah, indeed, I will let you know.
Yeah, you must tell my son, more. You must tell all of the hello. Let God be with you, oh.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mama. I'll sense the emotions. But we got 7 more minutes. I think we just take the last call because wow, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm G. Rubens. I'm calling from Monster.
Okay.
The issue is the police were even at the exit of the house. You have the marshal where the color is there, 24/7, and security are there. Even behind them, we got the security headquarters. But if now we look at the fight, the horse boy today, the following day, the new speaker has given budget for 1.8 million. Who does that?
You don't make people laugh, man. I won't laugh today, I swear. Yeah, man. Go ahead,
but he's right. But he's right. He's right, Mabon. He's right.
100%. My dear, not the country I know. But anyway, let me cross over. I want for because I said more minutes. So, Mr. Kane, you and another monk. I think you can take most of the time now, so that we can wrap it up because we gotta go.
Yeah. So, Monk, want to go first?
I can go first. Yeah, I think the caller was just saying exactly what we said on this show. We just want to move with caution, especially to the police IG. And the last caller said something right. Nobody come up with an assessment within less than 24 hours. That's suspicion right there. I mean, coming from the part of the other block. And when you look at the politics of it, the most we can say, we know that the country is a fragile. We have fragile peace. We got a political turmoil in the country. We got an impasse in the house. We are just telling the IG and the joint security forces because it's supposed to be one of the most protected and heavily guarded area of the country. The police, the police headquarters over there, the executive mansion, the entire Capitol Hill. So there should be some kind of an investigation. I don't know. It's not counter-terrorism, like Mr. Cannon said. We just want for you to put this thing far from politics. Let the investigation be free, fair, and transparent because we don't want people using this peace to weaponize the peace process of Liberia, calling the president like, oh, he carries some illegitimacy. No, we want for the police chief to do his work, including the fire department, other junk, or how do you call it, the security apparatus operating under the Liberian government. Just make this thing open, free, fair, and transparent so that when you come up with your findings, people will believe that it was the right thing that you did, that is for politics. That's just all I can say for now, Mr. Cannon.
Yeah,
I don't know if you are still there.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Monk. Before we go, I want to say something. Maybe we can talk about it more tomorrow. Monk, yesterday, this morning we woke up with a very sad news again. That a 20-year-old boy was mobbed to death. This boy was killed, allegedly, for stealing a wood. And if you watch the video from the eyewitnesses, the person who killed him was stopped by angry bystanders and turned him over to the police. And the woman who incited the killing of the guy, stating that y'all leave the police, let it beat him, let it kill him. She's a known person in the community. They said they know his house, her house. They know where she lives. So I would assume by this point that person is already been arrested. This person called Kofi, who allegedly killed this guy, whenever they told him to leave him alone, he refused. That is actually being brought to our attention, and I hope the Liberian government, the justice system, instead of looking for the people that are burning down the Capitol, one life is important more than that whole building. Nobody should be killed. There's no justification for killing somebody unless they are convicted of killing somebody, unless there is something called capital punishment in the country where the law allows somebody to be killed in place of other person. But nobody is allowed to kill other people, no matter what, no matter their crime. This is not a country of men. This is a country of law. That's very frustrating, very disappointing. I'm hoping that the Liberian government will do or due diligence to make sure that justice prevail. So maybe I want to say thank you. We'll be here tomorrow, and thank you to everybody who sympathized with Steve. Calling, testing. I've not seen any financial support as of yet. If there will be any, or if you have done something, let me know. But I've not seen anything. Maybe
maybe they will show up tomorrow and Sunday. I know they will come through.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Maul is calling, but I don't know. We don't have any more minute.
Yeah,
Mr. Maul, we're leaving. We don't have enough time anymore. You want to say something quickly, like 30 seconds?
I just want to extend my deepest condolences to the family of Steve and directly to Steve himself. It's a hard thing to lose a parent, and I just wanted to say to him in the Liberian Parliament, Namaya, my brother, and we pray that our soul rest in eternal peace.
All right, thank you so much.
Now, the issue about capital billing, it's hard to lie when the police is giving a report and they say the place is still tipped off, that they have done investigation. How do you do that?
Yeah.
And for police director and final director to start talking about it looked like the color of the smoke was blue, it looked like it was white, it looked like really. So what are people on the street gonna say?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Need to stop it.
Yeah, thank you. So so if somebody sends something to the Cash App being I've been trying to update the Cash App, it's not updated. Maybe I will see that later on. But this is for Zelle. Nobody saying anything to Zelle. Maybe that's Cash App. Somebody said something, or sister.
Hey, I want to remind them.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, somebody was asking what happened to Steve. Steve lost his mother.
Yeah.
So one of the sister, Evangeline, I was asking that. Mommy, that's the problem we have today. Steve lost his mother. But yeah, so Sister Esther will check the Cash App after the show, or put the phone. I'm pretty sure Cash App will come through later on. But Zelle, there's nothing on Zelle, or in both numbers. There's nothing on Zelle. But we check the Cash App after the show. But
I just want to remind folks, Mr. Coming for the weekend, because I think you're still saying something that you're doing.
Yeah, sorry.
I wanted to say something to people that will be sending anything for Steve, for SKTV. Please make sure you use that comment section on the Cash App for motor that's saying I need to differentiate as to why for condolences or Steve for sympathizing with Steve. Just make that little note for bereavement. I mean, just so that you don't confuse this too, because some people say, oh, we sent something to Sekou for SKTV Friday's contribution or throughout the week, because we usually extend it to Sunday. So when you're sending anything, whether it's on Zelle or Cash App, just make use of that comment section, so at least when Sekou receives it, he knows exactly where it's going to. I just wanted to remind folks about that. That is, if people were saying anything to Steve concerning bereavement, just in case, just to be on the safe side.
Thank you, Mongo, as always, my man. Thank you so much. Mabel, thank you very much. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Well, nothing much. All I can say is our sympathy to our colleague, our brother, Steve. We want you to be strong. We know that it's not easy, but God is there, my brother. So, well, yes, our sympathy to you and to all of our callers. Thank you so much. And, Mr. Connor, I think our people, they are following and they are the Jews, so they know exactly what even whether they are security experts or not, but they understand some of the happening. They understand some of the things that go on. So, indeed, I want to say thank to all of them for their participation. Thank you, Mark, and thank to you also for taking your time.
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow, maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you, and my regards to the entire team right there.
All right, guys. See ya.
My boy, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who willing to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us here the promise of them. The welcome and life we have here.
A lyrical
Master.
Cleverly, so I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes, I know money. The more I go, and you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia.